So let's see this 7. It's Sheva. That word in Hebrew means completeness, fullness. It also means an oath. They used to swear by 7, by giving 7 lambs. You know the town Beersheba? It's the well. Be'er is well, and Sheva is oath. The 7, the well of the 7s, the well of the oath. So all of this makes sense, whenever you apply this to what you know already about Israel and about the Jews and their story. It also means, do you see the way how I have highlighted the letters in English just? If you would say that's the S sound or the sh sound in Hebrew, there it is. That's either b or v, that looks like a 3-sided letter. That's either b or v. It can have 2 sounds. And that one usually takes the ah sound, but it can take any vowel sound. So in that sheva, you've got shuv, which means to turn or return. So everything turns in 7s. Okay? This is the cycle of 7s. There's that word shuv, that means to turn, and it's turning in 7s. The word for week, do you see the 3 letters again? Shavua, 7 days. Shavuot is just the plural, and we'll be talking about Shavuot. That's why I've brought it in there. Shiva. Shiva is 7 days of mourning. When somebody dies in the Jewish world, they sit for what they call sitting for Shiva, 7 days of mourning. And this Sava is to be satisfied, to be filled, to be full. But it has the same understanding. And of course, this one that we'll be looking at, Shabbat. There's the shin again, the sh, and that takes a b sound this time. And the T at the end is something else. But this is the set apart 7, the prophetic time of completion, fullness and ceasing, the only day with a name. And we are to remember it and keep it. Keep in Hebrew means cherish it, guard it, protect it. Not in the religious way we think of keep. Like, the way we're taught, you keep the commandments. You don't take one step outside. It's not like that. You cherish them. It's such a beautiful thing that God has planned for us, that you guard and protect them. That's the sort of keep that means. So we're going to discuss the Shabbat. It's a big, big thing, especially because we haven't really learned enough about it. The Shabbat, it's a day set apart, right from the beginning of time. I don't know how much you've learned about this, so I just need really to start from the beginning of what I understand. It's a day set apart from the beginning of time, not for the Jews, not only for the Jews. Is that an understanding that we have? I just want to clarify that, because I think people have the notion that it's a Jewish thing. It's not. It's God's cycle of 7. It's important to know what that is, because we've seen the word Shabbat actually is linked with the word 7, so it's got to be linked with that cycle of 7. Okay? It's the only day that Yahweh blessed. In all of those days of creation, beautiful as they were, wonderful as they were, it was the only day that he blessed. And he did that for a reason. Remember we said in the last slide, it's a prophetic day. It talks about another 7 of completion. What is that? What is that 7? The full completion of time. It's when this world ends and we move into the new heaven and the new earth. It's the 7 that means everything is settled. Nothing more to be done. Because that's actually what happened when he created. He stopped creating. You know the way they say Shabbat is a day of rest? In a sense it is, but that's not what Shabbat means. Shabbat means he stopped creating. He ceased. There was nothing more to be done. So there will be a 7, and that's why we say the 7,000th year. There will be a 7 that will be the completion of all things. It was made for man, and it was made for man in a healthy way, that he would stop doing things and give himself a rest. Yahweh ceased from his work, which was creating, and he says, let this pattern continue. And it is a prophetic day, and it's for all time. How do I know it's for all time? How do I know it wasn't just for that time that he gave it to the Jews after Sinai? Because in Isaiah 66, verses 22 and 23, there are 2 specific days identified. One of them is Shabbat, and the other one is one that we're going to look at today, Rosh Chodesh, which is the new moon day. Now, those 2 times are specified specifically in Isaiah 66, and here it is. As the new heavens and the new earth stand before me. Now, when is that? That will be at the end of what we know as time. New heaven, new earth, end of time as we know it. So your seed and your name shall stand, and it will be from new moon. Do you know what the new moon is? It's the beginning of each month. Chodesh. Chodesh means new. Chadash is new. Chodesh is new month. To new moon, right? So that's the cycle, month by month, new moon to new moon, Chodesh to Chodesh. And from Shabbat to Shabbat. So there's the weekly cycle and there's the monthly cycle. All flesh shall come to worship before me. So his set times, his appointed times are not only for the Jews. A moed is an appointed time. That word moed does not mean feast. You know the way we could talk about the feasts of the Lord? They're not actually feasts. The word itself means appointed time. His appointments. MOEDIM is just the plural of that. The appointed times. They are his appointments. They're not the Jews. They're Yahweh's appointments. If you have an appointment, I remember a Messianic Jew talking like this. I was at a meeting, and I thought, that's so true. If you have an appointment with the dentist, with the doctor, you're sure to keep it. You're not, well, if you miss it, you're not likely to get another one too quickly these days. So you decide to keep an appointment. You meet with a friend, whatever your appointment is, you're going to keep the appointment if it's at all possible. So that's why we're looking at these at all today. Let's see what they are. Let's see if we have kept his appointments. These are they. Shabbat, Pesach, Passover, Matzot, unleavened bread, immediately after Passover. I've used the Hebrew words. I hope you don't mind. I like to use the words because they have meaning. For instance, Shavuot, that festival means weeks. So, that's why I like to use the actual Hebrew word. And this one, round about September, October, our time, Yom Zichron Teruah is the day of remembrance of the loud blast. We're going to look at all these in detail, so, I'm not going to spend too long talking about them. And then that very, very set-apart day, that Yom Kippur, the Day of Atonement. And finally, this is the last of his appointed times over the whole 7 months of harvest is Sukkot. And it's reminding them of when they lived in tabernacles, in tents in the desert.